Well, there's a lot that goes into winning softball and winning a national championship for sure. Exit velocity is paramount. That is the number one statistic. Perfect timing, trying to get the pitch timed up perfectly. It's trying to align all of your swing movements perfectly. So in other words, you are timing your body parts to be in sync and then match up that timing with perfect timing of the pitch. And then there's also the idea of hitting the ball perfectly solid. 100-100 is the mantra that they go by. That's being 100% on time with 100% of your most powerful and efficient swing. 100% on time, 100% mechanically efficient, but also 100% perfect contact. And so there's a lot of give at impact if your body is not perfectly locking out at the right moment. So this is an example of nowhere near 100% quality contact. The bat hits the ball right in the middle, but it's not anywhere near the sweet spot. And so you see this tremendous amount of vibration. Watch what happens when this ball hits. You see the bat bend. You see the bat get buried into his hands. And then you see all that vibration in his wrists and forearms. It's either going to go right back to the ball or some of it's going to be lost at the moment of impact, kind of like a bunt. In a good bunt, you create shock absorbers in the body so the ball comes in and it comes off really softly. But in a hit, you don't want that. So anytime that there's going to be a loss of energy at impact, it's going to cost you. And it's even more important in softball because of the heavier ball hitting the lighter bat. One of the key factors behind Oklahoma's success is their mantra. They're chasing 100-100, meaning they are constantly trying to achieve 100% on-time contact with 100% of their most powerful and most efficient swing. Now, realistically, there's one more 100 in there, and that is the quality of contact. Getting a round bat to hit in the middle of a round ball and hit it absolutely perfect. In this case, this was the second, I believe, hardest hit ball in the entire tournament. I think it was around 82 or 83 miles per hour of exit velocity. I don't think it ever got over about 20 feet off the ground. This ball was absolutely smashed. Was it perfect? No. But it is so close, who cares, right? It's actually airs on the side that I prefer, which is when you miss a little bit underneath it with that really close to perfect swing, this is the result of a really great miss. Now, this is about as close as you can get on a miss hit. And the reason, look at how long this ball is in line. It is in line. Her barrel is on plane in a head-on collision. She could hit this ball all the way back here, 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 here. Anywhere along there, she's going to make really solid contact. It isn't perfect until she gets to there. So she's just a very, very little bit late, maybe 6 to 10 inches late. But it's so near perfect. And the reason that I want to describe that is because it's important to know what perfect is if you're ever going to be able to measure it. And if you can't measure it, you can't get better. And that's the whole point. So let's take a look at this. The pitch is coming in at 0 degrees. You can see it pass right through this 0. And then she's going to make contact with it. The goal of 100-100 contact is to be at 10 degrees. She's at 15. So she barely misses absolute perfect contact. Now, why is 10 degrees where you want to go? Because all of the hits happen between 30 degrees and minus 10. A really high percentage, over 80% of hits happen in that area. So 10 degrees is the magic middle, exact middle of those two areas. So if you're trying to hit it at 10 degrees, guess what? You miss it all the time, about 40% of the time underneath and about 40% of the time above the center, hitting these rocket ground balls. And if you look at Oklahoma's offense, about 40% of their offense is really hard low line drives and hard ground balls. That is a huge important factor to realize, because the whole world has been telling us for a long time now, no, 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 you can't hit ground balls. They're terrible. Well, it depends on your kind of ground ball. If you're creating an uppercut like this, trying to hit it at 30 degrees, then the ground balls that you hit will be terrible. They'll be the kind that almost never result in a hit. But when you're Oklahoma and you're in line with that pitch forever, guess what? Your ground balls are rockets. And that's why their batting average on ground balls is off the chart. Because they're not trying to hit ground balls. They're just ensuring that when they do, they hit them as hard as physically possible. The other great mishit that happens is this. When you miss it, and it's somewhere between 10 and 30 degrees or even 40 degrees, you got a really good chance to hit homers. That's why they lead the world in homers. Not because they're trying to hit them, because they're taking advantage of 100-100 contact. Here's another great example of 100-100 contact. Now, is this ball hit perfect? No. But when the swing goal is to be 100% on time with 100% of your most mechanical swing, trying to hit the ball as close to absolutely perfect as possible, then your mishits are really good. And that's what this is. This is a really great happy accident. When we put the graphics up here, we'll take a look at this again. So you'll see the ball come in. It's about 0 degrees, meaning it's very flat. Her barrel is in line with the pitch now, and it stays in line all the way through that moment of impact. And she misses the ball. Remember, the goal of 100-100 contact is to hit it at 10 degrees. But she hits this at roughly 30 degrees. So it carries out of the yard a long ways out of the yard, in fact. But if the goal is 10, then that means she missed it by about 20 degrees. And yet still, it's a really great thing to have happen. The rest of the world is trying to swing in a fashion that creates this kind of swing line. In other words, they're trying to swing up, and their concept of on plane is to try to get to that plane with the barrel. And that means absolutely nothing. That your odds of hitting a ball out of the yard are about 1. It's realistically about 1 in 25. But let's be kind and say that you're going to be 100% on time about 1 in 10. You're going to hit about 40% up and about 40% down, meaning you're going to be below center or above center about half the time. This one happens to be one that she's just barely underneath center with that same great swing plane. And she hits it at 30 degrees, and it carries a long, long ways. 100-100 almost never happens. But it's the goal of trying to be 100-100 that allows you to miss the ball this good. This is a mishit. It's a very cool, very long mishit. But nonetheless, this is a mishit.